Started recording. All right. All right. So Genevieve, are you able to add people as they come on now? Are you good with that?
So I'm just seeing right now, are you able to make me a co-host? Sorry, just because right now I'm not able to have that option on the side.
That's a good question. I'm not even sure if I am or not. I will have to look into that and see. If I can, I will totally add you, okay?
Beautiful, thank
All
you.
right. In the meantime, you can see the chat though, right?
Mhm.
Okay, awesome. So everybody, this is Genevieve. She's
Hello,
under
everyone.
Chelsea Stevens' name. She is Chelsea's new, beautiful, wonderful assistant, and she lives in Canada. We're so glad that she is here with us. Chelsea would have loved to be here with us. Unfortunately, she had knee surgery yesterday. So if y'all would send her out a little bit of light and love and make sure that she knows that we miss her, that would be awesome. So we get to have Genevieve with us and all of you. So I know that we have a lot of people that are registered, but if they're like me and they're running around getting everybody dinner or they're doing whatever, I'm sure that they're going to be joining us as we go. But we want to get started because we know that your time is precious and we want to make sure that you know that we value your time, okay? So first and foremost, welcome. My name is Brooke Magleby. I live in Idaho and I've been using doTERRA for almost 11 years, you guys. My 11-year and oilversary, I guess is what you could call it, is July 10th. And I'm so excited about that. I'm so happy to have been part of this company and to be using these essential oils in our home for the last 11 years. They've truly changed our lives. I remember, I really, it's very interesting. I remember my life before oils, but I can't imagine my life without oils now because they've literally changed our entire lives in every aspect of it. Health, emotions, finances, everything. And I'm so incredibly grateful for that. So we're going to get started tonight just with a little bit of who here is brand new to essential oils, or like within the last maybe 3 to 6 months that you've just started essential oils. I want to see your faces. I don't care what you look like. It's okay. Okay. I finally showered after 3 days, you guys. Okay. This is like a miracle right now. So, but if you're really new, we want you to know that we know where you're at. Okay. When you're brand new, it's a little bit overwhelming, right? You have these bottles in front of you, they smell, and you're trying to figure out all the different ways that you can use them. And hopefully tonight, by the time we are done with this little visit here about using your essential oils, you're going to feel empowered, right? That's really the main reason why we do these continuing education events. All right, we are excited about this new series too. And just a little FYI, what we're going to be doing with this is we're going to actually every 8 weeks, like from here till forever, there's going to be a continuing education class. Our hope and prayer is that each of you will finish all 8 of the continuing education classes. And you're going to want to do this because a little bit later, Genevieve is going to actually put a link in the comment section that you're going to want to go to. So you're going to kind of want to pay attention a little bit because there's going to be some questions that you're going to ask. And if you complete, so after every class, you go in and you click on that link, you fill in a couple of things, your name, your address, and a code word that we'll give you later. And then it will, once you've completed all 8, guess what? We send you a special gift for free in the mail. Okay, so we're really excited because why do we do that? Why do we incentivize you to do that? Because it doesn't do any good. All of you have made an investment, right? When we get these essential oils, it is an investment. It's an investment of money and time and resources, but it's really an investment in your health. And ultimately, we want to make sure that that investment pays off. Okay, so that's why we do these continuing education classes. And I promise you, even those of us that are veterans, I still go to these classes myself. I've been using essential oils for 11 years, but I always learn something new. So just kind of schedule it in your calendar every Tuesday night for 7 p.m. and come and join us, because we really there's a lot that will be offered, and there will be different teachers each time, and you'll learn so much, and it's so much fun. Okay, so first and foremost, I'm actually going to share my screen. How many of you were able to get the handout that we put together for you? If you've got that printed off, great. If not, then you're going to see it here. We will share it. Just a second here as I get my computer going. Okay, so today's continuing education is, I have my oils, now what? Well, the first thing you're going to do is take off the lid. Okay, and this is going to that sounds really silly, but you guys, I was teaching a class not too long, a few years ago now, and there was a woman that had come to the class, and she was so excited to learn, and she was really into it. And about halfway through the class, she's like, oh my gosh, I wish that I had known all of these things. I mean, I bought some oils 2 years ago, and I put them in my basement. She'd never opened the package. And she had just recently gotten out of the hospital, and she was like, oh, I so wish that I'd had these. And I was like, oh, I do too. You had them right there, but she didn't open the bottles, right? So get your bottles in front of you. And the first thing, of course, is to take off the lid, okay? And then we're going to take you to the next step and learn some really cool ways. So all of us got started using essential oils for one reason or another, okay? If you have a piece of paper, if you have the handout, whatever, just grab a piece of paper and just write down what were some of the reasons that you chose to invest in these precious essential oils and to have them in your home. For me, my reason was, well, I had multiple reasons. Number one, my son. He was about 8.5 years old at the time, and he was dealing with severe respiratory issues every single day. And it was affecting him emotionally, it was affecting him physically, it was really taking its toll on him at school and socially, and just all of these different things. And so when my sweet sister-in-law, Chelsea, introduced me to essential oils and gave me a little tiny sample of Breathe, it literally changed his life. It gave me hope as a mother to finally have something that I could do for him, but also it gave me a sense of self-reliance, which has always been really important to me, to have a little bit of control over what I can do for me and my children and my health. And then another couple of reasons was the self-reliance, and also I loved the opportunity that I had to share it with other people, because I love people and I love to help other people. And so it really was, it kind of fit into all of those boxes for me. But write down, if you've been doing this for a while, maybe you need a reminder of why you got started in doTERRA in the first place. For me, it was also my own health. I was having some serious health issues myself, and I was looking for answers. So it was kind of cool how, even though I really was looking for one specific thing, it continued to expand and become absolutely part of our family's lifestyle. It wasn't just a couple of bottles of essential oil. We were really able to incorporate it into our entire lifestyle. Okay. All right. So have you guys got a couple of things written down? I hope that you do, and you can, because you know what, you're going to want to go back and reference this. And not only that, one thing that I have also learned through this process is that even though respiratory issues were one of the main reasons I got started in doTERRA, what I initially learned on how to help my son expanded as well. So it's good to revisit that and say, am I really doing everything? You know, there was new products that came available and other things that really expanded my ability to help my son. So it's good to have those reminders, okay? Now the second thing is, if you have not had a chance yet, especially those of you who are new, or you know what, if you've even been in it for a long time, but maybe you need a refresher a little bit, don't forget to get with the person, either get with Chelsea or get with the person that enrolled you, or one of their upline leaders, somebody that's sharing doTERRA and has been using it for a little while, and get your own personal lifestyle overview. Okay, we are all here to help you with that. And it's just, it can be 30 minutes. Usually I like to take about an hour. And I'm not a doctor, a medical professional, but what we do is we just kind of do an overview to help make sure that what you have is exactly what you need, and customizing things, helping you find some answers and discovering some answers. Of course, once you have your health goals, okay, you want to look into your resource books. And if you haven't gotten some resource books, please make sure you make that additional investment, or talk to the person that enrolled you and see if they have access to some of these as well that you can purchase from them. I love the Essential Life book. There's also a Modern Essentials book. I call these my essential oil Bibles, and I still refer to them quite often. Matter of fact, I just referred to this one yesterday because I had someone who was, needing some specific help with meniscus tear in their knee. And I have some thoughts, but I really wanted to be clear. And it was wonderful to be able to look that up in the book. Okay. So are there any questions? I can only see, so Genevieve is helping me with the chat. So she's going to be answering questions, but Genevieve, if there's a question that you're not sure about, feel free to cut in here and let me know what that question is, okay?
That's beautiful. Good? I'll definitely do that for sure.
Okay, all right, because I don't want anybody's questions to go unanswered, okay? So if you're not sure where to get these kinds of reference books, I have, let's see, there's this one. There is, I think my other one, my Modern Essentials is somewhere, not sure where it went. And then there's also an emotions book that is an incredible resource. Essential oils are powerful with emotions. We're going to talk about that a little bit later, okay? So make sure that you have access to these. And one thing that I started doing when I started doTERRA, it can be really overwhelming, right? Don't feel like you have to know everything right now, okay? I just took one oil a week, and I would read everything about it in the book. I would look up information about it, even if I didn't have the essential oil yet. I just really wanted, and I was a little obsessive about really understanding, and I was very passionate and very driven, and I knew why I needed to learn about these things. But it's been so helpful over the years as I was like, I kind of remember reading something about black pepper. I'm going to go back in the book, and inevitably, that it's exactly the oil that I would need to use for something. So take a little bit of time, even 5 minutes a week, and just read up about one essential oil. You'll be really surprised at how much you retain over the years, okay, and how much you learn. Okay, so let's review. There are probably one of these 4 areas that you could probably say, yeah, this is the reason why I joined doTERRA. Maybe it was for some foundational help. Maybe it was for exercise or weight management. Maybe you're just worried about or wondering how you can manage the stress with everything that we have going on today, right? A little crazy sauce. Or maybe it's just to help reduce the toxic load and exposure and support your immune system or digestive system, whatever it may be. Maybe circle the items that you have right now, and then we're going to go over quickly quite a few of them, give you a couple of ideas on ways that you can use them, because many of you have at least 1 or 2 or several of the things that are on these lists, okay? And you might have some oils or products that's not listed here. That's fine too. Or maybe there's some things here that are listed that you don't have yet. But we're going to talk about them because I look at what this is on this list, and this is really foundational for our health. When you join doTERRA, it's not just about using an essential oil every once in a while. It really is about creating healthy habits that will help you and your family move up that ladder to really sustainable health. Many times people will say, oh, well, I don't really know why I would ever use that. And then they use it on a frequent basis, and then they forget for a little while, and they're like, oh my gosh, why am I not feeling peace and calm or energized or whatever it is? And they realize, oh, it's because I went off of them. Okay, so whatever that is for you, make sure that you kind of circle so you know. And also, you're going to see on the back, if you've printed out that handout, okay, on the back there's also a wish list, okay, right over here. or if you just have a plain piece of paper, make a list of wish lists. Okay, it's not something that you're going to get all, you know, all at once, but many times what I find is that as we talk about oils, we talk about solutions and different things, there will be something that comes out and you'll be like, oh, I don't want to forget that. Okay, put that on your wish list. My wish list got really long really fast as I learned about the essential oils, right? But we're going to show you how you can also get those things that are on your wish list at and benefit financially and make it really cheap and all that other kind of stuff. Okay, all right, so let's take one of these at a time. Oh, let's go back. Okay, so let's talk about foundations. Okay, lifelong vitality supplements. Okay, I don't know about you guys, but I'll be honest with you. When I first started doTERRA, and of course this is a really long time ago, this was 11 years ago, right? They talked about lifelong vitality. I had gotten, I had actually had a garage sale so I could even get started with doTERRA, you guys. I did not have the money to even get started at the time. The market had crashed, like there was nothing in the account. But I got the little tiny Dr. Mom kit. It was so cute, right? And basically that's the equivalent of our Family Essentials kit now. But I could not quite justify the lifelong vitality. But I was really struggling with my own health, as I said earlier. So about 6 months into it, I finally listened to a webinar by Dr. Hill, and he talked about lifelong vitality. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to save my pennies and I'm going to invest in it. It was the best investment I ever made in my health, because here's the thing, essential oils are powerful. They are potent, you guys, and they are pure, right? We love doTERRA because of that. But your body needs something to work with. And I look at lifelong vitality and I consider all that's contained in it. And we're not going to go into details about it tonight, but I just want you to know that it really is a foundation for you on a cellular level. It supports emotions. It supports physical health. It supports digestive health. I mean, it literally is an encompassing thing, right? And it really became the foundation to my own personal recovery and overcoming severe inflammation in my body. So I was really grateful for that. So if that's something that you're curious about, make sure that you bring that up with the person that you have your lifestyle overview with, and let them give you a little more details about lifelong vitality. I'll show you. There's a couple of ways, of course, we can do lifelong vitality. They have these cute little individual packets. I actually have several of these in my purse. And that's because sometimes I'm on the go and I totally forget, right, to take my vitamins. But I notice within a few hours. So I love that they have this, but I also have learned over the years that anything to do with foundations, if you don't have it right in front of you, okay, it's easy to forget. So a couple of things that I did to make it a little bit easier to remember, and this goes for all of these, the Terrazyme, PB Assist, Lifelong Vitality, and several of the other products that doTERRA has for internal use. I got these cute little bowls, and I fill them up the night before, and I place them in places that I know I will see them, right? That was really helpful. I think they were like 75 cents a piece. And I also can have containers for my supplements. I know you guys are gonna think this is crazy, especially those of you that are new. You're gonna be like, oh my goodness, are there that many? Yes, there are, and yes, I take them. Okay, but what I did is I went to the craft store and I just got like a bead container, and I just turned it into my little supplement thing, and it makes it so much easier for me to fill those little jars and to make sure I stay on top of my supplements each day. Because even if you eat like a super healthy diet and it's all no sugar and no this and all vegetables and all whole foods, believe it or not, we still are not getting all of the nutritional support that our bodies need. Okay, so the oils are powerful. We're going to get a little bit more into those here soon, but I just want you to know and consider that if there are some pretty major things that you're dealing with, don't forget the foundations. Okay, so some other foundations, of course, is Terrazyme. Love Terrazyme. Terrazyme is a product that's really good for digestive issues. Again, our bodies need support, right? The food that we eat, sometimes our bodies are not able to digest or even absorb the nutrients that are in that food. And that's because we lack enzymes. I could go on and on and on about enzyme support. If you've had experiences with any of these products, put that information, share with us in the chat what your experience has been with these products, okay? Because those that are new, I'm sure would love to learn a little bit more about that, okay, from you. PB Assist. So PB is probiotic and of course assist. Both Terrazyme and the PB Assist are really awesome for gut health and immune support, both of them. Matter of fact, did you know that enzymes are responsible for over 4,000 different chemical reactions in your body and processes in your body, including hormones and emotions and digestion, and like the list goes on and on. And we know from studies, and I'm sure some of you have heard gut health, right? We talk a lot about gut health. Probiotic support is really important for that. And the coolest part about doTERRA's probiotic is it's a prebiotic and a probiotic all in one. It's a double encapsulated, so cute little green capsule, right? And what happens with that is it actually ensures that it doesn't release until it gets into your digestive system, which is of course super important, or into your intestinal tract, because that's where you need it to go, right? Believe it or not, we have more neurological processes that happen in your gut than they happen in your brain. So a lot of times, if there's a lot of emotional stuff going on, consider supporting the gut, okay? It's amazing how that works. And there's a lot more science to that, but that's just a little tidbit of information. Okay, some other foundations that we love and know and love are citrus oils. I actually love lime, but maybe you got lemon in your kit. I just open that bottle up and just smell it, because I don't know about you guys, but any of the citrus oils, lime, lemon, any of them, kind of to me are like sunshine in a bottle, right? Which, especially with what's happening in the world today, can't we all use a little bit more sunshine in our lives? Okay, a little bit more joy, a little bit more sunshine. Literally just sit and just smell it through your nose. Okay, now that's one way that we can use lemon or other citrus oils. Another way that we can use them is by putting them in our water. And we'll talk about that in a little bit more. I'm trying to, this is a new PowerPoint, so I'm pretty sure that we're going to talk a little bit more about water usage and what you want to use for that. But remember that if you're trying to address emotions, when you smell an essential oil through your nose, that is the fastest way to affect you emotionally, okay? When you are trying to work on the lungs, you're going to want to inhale through your mouth. That's the fastest way to support the lungs. If you're dealing with some upset stomach or something like that, you can put it on topically or put a couple of drops in some water and swallow it, okay? So there's quite a few options when we're talking about using lemon or any other essential oils in that way. Now, I don't know about anybody out there, but how many of you have used your lemon to get sticky stuff off of things, right? Or even permanent marker, right? It's amazing. It's amazing, you guys. Lemon, there are so many uses for that simple little, very inexpensive bottle of lemon. All right. And I wish I could see the chats at the same time. It makes me kind of sad. I'm sorry. So I'll go back and read them all in just a second here.
No worries, Brooke. I was actually just going to interrupt quickly, if you
Yes.
don't mind, just because
Yes.
we're talking about oils now. Barbara had a question. So she said, several of the oils have a Prop 65 warning. What are the risks of using these oils?
Okay, so that is an awesome question, Barbara. Thank you for bringing that up. There are actually no risks using these essential oils. What the challenge is, and you'll find this with a lot of the labeling. Okay, for example, even Terrazyme. There's a thing on the bottle of Terrazyme that says may contain traces of wheat, soy, something, da 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 da, but it has none in it. It's actually part of the fermentation process that they have to use a wheat product in a fermentation process for one of the ingredients. And because of that, like 5 steps before it even gets into the Terrazyme, legally, the government requires that they put these warnings or whatever on there. But there are zero traces. Like they've studied it over and over and over again to make sure that there aren't any traces of those things in those products. It's the same with that Prop 65. Okay, that's something I believe California. I'm curious to know where Barb is, but there's several states that, for whatever reasons, they kind of gotten to micromanaging every little thing. As a matter of fact, there's even like a plastic covering on something. All of a sudden, will have a big warning on it or something, and it actually has. It's just for legal purposes because of whatever those things are within that state, but it doesn't affect anything of your usage or the safety or anything like that with essential oils. Like I said, I've used at least every single essential oil and every single doTERRA product that has ever come out in the last 11 years, internally, topically, aromatically, diffusing, on babies, children, older people, like literally across pregnant people, across the board. And I've never hesitated once to use any of them for any of those things. Okay, so I hope that puts your mind at ease. It's really nothing more of just a legality that they have to do because certain states passed certain things that would potentially affect that labeling. I know, and it's kind of confusing, I know, but I hope that puts your mind at ease. Okay, all right. So lemon. Okay, there's lots of ways that we can use lemon. I hope I gave you a couple of fun ones. Let's talk frankincense. How many of you got frankincense, like the king of essential oils, in your kit? Now, frankincense is one of those essential oils. You've heard many different ways that you can use it, I'm sure, and maybe there was a specific reason why you wanted frankincense, for skin issues or to help support emotions. It's amazing as an emotional support essential oil. It's also wonderful to help reduce inflammation. Frankincense is kind of like, when in doubt, pull out frankincense and use it. Okay, that's what Dr. Hill would always say. Now he says, pull out frankincense and copaiba. But frankincense is an all-around essential oil. It's not sensitive. You don't have to worry about sensitivity. You can apply it topically, areas of concern. You can put it, I use frankincense along with lavender when somebody gets a sunburn or they have a scrape or a bruise or anything like that. Frankincense is a very powerful oil for that. Okay. All right. Oops, sorry. All right. So let's see. Any questions about frankincense? Or if you've had an experience with frankincense, type it up in the chat so other people can be reading as we go along. Okay.
Yes, Amelia just said that she healed a really bad sunburn on her shoulders with frankincense and lavender. Awesome. And Vicky said that she cleaned her toaster with lemon. All around amazing.
That is fantastic. I love it. I love it. You know, I use lemon. I have a bottle of lemon in my kitchen, like at all times, because I'm either putting it in my water or I'm using it to clean something, and even my kids would come in if they were trying to get sticky things off or whatever. We were always able to use lemon to do that. Now, one word of caution with lemon or any citrus oil, right? And hopefully you've learned this with your lifestyle overview, but I want to touch on it here as well. And that is that citrus oils, because we have 100% pure BPTG, therapeutic grade essential oils, pure and potent, that also means that they have all of their constituents in their entirety, which also means that the citrus oils may cause your skin to be photosensitive. So if you apply any of the citrus oils to your skin, okay, please do not go out into the sun for at least 8 to 12 hours afterwards, all right? Anytime I'm using a citrus oil, I'm going to apply, if I'm going to use it topically, I'm going to apply it under clothing or somewhere where the sun isn't going to shine, okay, isn't going to be exposed to the sun. One little story that I have to share is my son, he loved lime. Lime was his favorite essential oil. And we were on a drive one time and I had a couple of nieces and nephews with me, and one of them pulled out a bag of Doritos. My son, he does not like Doritos. Definitely does not like the smell of Doritos. So he's sitting in the back and all of a sudden he's like, Mom, can I get the lime? I was like, sure, you know, I carry it with me. So I handed it to him. He did whatever. I thought he was just using it for respiratory support. because that was one of the ones that he loved to use for that. And we were going hiking that day. So we go hiking all day. We're outside. We had the most beautiful hike to this waterfall. And we get back in the car and I look over at him and I'm like, Jaden, you got a little brown, I thought it was dirt. And it was just brown right underneath his nose like that. Come to find out, he had taken the lime and put it under his nose to mask the smell of the Doritos with my nephew. But he didn't tell me. And then we were in the sun all day and he had just an extra suntan right there for a couple of weeks. It was kind of cute, looked like he had a little mustache, but anyway, so just something to be aware of with citrus oils, okay? So those 5 products are honestly some fantastic foundational products that if that was all you had at your disposal, you'd be in good shape, okay? But I know that you have lots more oils, so let's move on to maybe something that you were looking at was, or looking for support in was exercise and weight management. I don't know about you, but I'm always looking for support in that way, or even just to help curb my appetite, right? Especially for sugar, because I have a sweet tooth and that's not good. So Slim and Sassy is a wonderful essential oil blend. If that's one that came in your kit, congratulations. Some people call it Slim and Nasty because it takes a little while to maybe get accustomed to the taste. But one thing that I have learned with the Slim and Sassy is it really is powerful at helping to curb my appetite. So what I do is I actually put several drops in my stainless steel water bottle every morning, and then I just continually refill it throughout the day. And one of the things I love about that is it's a combination, so it's a blend that doTERRA has, and it's a combination of oils that have all been shown to support the body in its metabolic processes. Okay, so think metabolism. Whenever we're talking, some people will be like, oh, you just have such a fast metabolism. Oh, I have a slow metabolism. Did you know that that actually is not true? You don't have either a slow or a fast metabolism. You either have a working one or a non-working one, okay? So what you need support with your metabolic processes, processing or dealing with sugar imbalances, right? For me, if I have low blood sugar issues, Slim and Sassy has been really helpful at helping me to maintain a healthy blood sugar level throughout the day. So that's a really great one that you can use internally in your water. You can also apply it topically. Again, it has grapefruit in it. There are some people who have applied it topically and used it in those problematic areas to help reducing toxic load in those areas, maybe reduce the appearance of cellulite, a few other things. But again, remember it has grapefruit in it, so be cautious so that way, you're not going out into the sun or sunbathing after you've applied it, okay? All right, Deep Blue Rub. Now, the hardest part when you're trying to get into shape, right, is sometimes we overdo it a little bit. The thing I love about the Deep Blue Rub is the fact that, or even the Deep Blue Oil, maybe you got the kit that has the little 5 milliliter bottle of Deep Blue Oil. Either one of them are wonderful for especially a pre or post workout kind of routine, right? I like to use it, especially if I know that I have areas, for example, like my knee or my ankle or, my thumbs, whatever it might be that I've had problems with before, my shoulder even. Apply that oil or the Deep Blue Rub before you go to work out or be active in any way, and then apply it directly after you're done with that as well. It really does help you keep going on that routine so that an unwanted injury doesn't slow you down, right? How many of us have had that happen? I know I have, okay? So love that oil. Probably for some of you, Deep Blue Rub was maybe your first experience with essential oils. I know for my husband, that was kind of the thing that sold him on essential oils, was using Deep Blue Rub, okay? Okay, so Copaiba. You can call it Copaiba as well. But Copaiba, that's how they say it in Brazil. It actually comes from a tree in Brazil. And we have it both in an oil and in a soft gel. Now, what I love about Copaiba is its vast range. It's a lot like frankincense in the fact that it has a vast range of uses. You really cannot go wrong ever using Copaiba or frankincense. There's many times that they can be interchangeable. Of course, they have different constituencies, okay, that are really specific to certain things. But even then, they really are good for multiple different uses. Now, Copaiba, one of the things I love about Copaiba is its ability to work directly with the endocannabinoid system. So that I'm tongue-tied tonight, I can't say that. But basically, how many of you have heard of like CBD or hemp oil, those types of things, right? To help reduce inflammation, to help manage emotions a little bit safer. The nice thing about this is it isn't something that comes from a hemp plant. It comes from a tree in the Amazon jungle in Brazil. But it has very similar constituents, literally at a fraction of the cost. Like to get a really high quality CBD type of oil would be hundreds of dollars. For Copaiba, it's like $35. I don't know about you guys, but I use it for pain management, for emotional support. I did some damage to my knee not too long ago, and it was interesting. I was really struggling with pain at night one night, and I just happened to have some Copaiba on my nightstand. So I just hurried and rubbed it on. It was like 3:30 in the morning, and it just took the pain instantly. So it's also one that is not sensitive to the skin. So, and we'll talk a little bit about applying oils topically in a minute, but the thing I like about Copaiba is the fact that I can apply it neat, I can apply it directly, or along with Deep Blue Rub together, or with fractionated coconut oil if I need to get it to a larger area. And I don't have to worry about it being tingly or cooling or anything like that. And it has a really light smell, so it's hardly even detectable that way as well. So you can use that quite often. The soft gels are powerful as well. We had a continuing education not long ago here in Idaho Falls. Well, it was last year because we haven't been able to do anything this year, right? But we had a young man there that shared his own personal experience using Copaiba and frankincense to help manage his seizures. And it was powerful. He cannot even come close to anything that has CBD in it, because that is one of the most adulterated products on the market today is CBD oil. Okay, it's become this huge, expansive. It's a little scary actually what's happening in that market. So you have to be so vigilantly careful. But he has a job with the government, and he said that they were strictly told not anything that was even laced with it, because it would potentially come back as on a drug test. But he's been able to use Copaiba and frankincense, and he doesn't have to worry about that. And it was huge because it allowed him to keep doing his job, right? So if it's someone that also, if you're dealing with a lot of inflammation, turmeric is another one, right? We have both the oil, and we also have turmeric dual capsules, soft gels. Those are kind of interesting too. I'm just going to give you a little plug for that, because if you're someone who exercises a lot and you're looking to focus on recovery or to help strengthen or manage that inflammation, Dr. Riggs shared something with us a few months ago as well. And he talked about taking 2 turmeric soft gels every morning. He said that what they are is it's the oil and the turmeric powder in one soft gel, or in one capsule, I should say. It's kind of a capsule inside of a capsule. But he said that scientifically they were able to prove that by combining those, it makes it 11 times more potent at reducing inflammation in the body. Okay, that's really significant. So whether it's continued inflammation or inflammation caused by exercise or being super active, those might be something that you want to add to your wish list if you haven't gotten those yet. Okay, so let's move on to rest and managing stress. Okay, one of the things that I think we all can agree on right now is that we all are dealing with stress. Can we all just say amen, hallelujah, right? Like, I don't know about you, but this crazy sauce, what's going on right now in the world, okay? But the things that I have learned over the years are this. Your body physically cannot tell the difference between emotional stress or good stress or bad stress or anything. It's just lumps it all into stress. So even if it was something positive that was going on, it will affect your body physically. But because of what we have going on right now, it is magnified so much, right? With the craziness that's going on in the world today, that you might think it may be only emotional that it's taking a toll on, but it actually is taking a toll on your body physically as well. I know people who are getting urinary tract infections. They don't even know where they're getting them from. Folks that are dealing with inflammation and pain in areas that they don't even understand where that pain's coming from or why they're experiencing that pain. Or maybe they're dealing with some serious digestive discomfort. They're having constipation and they don't understand why. They really haven't changed anything in their diet, or they're having diarrhea or whatever it may be. Those physical manifestations can be linked, and very often are linked, to the lack of rest or the lack of ability for us to be managing the stress that we're under right now. Okay, so the first thing, of course, again, you can see we have a theme here, right? Lifelong Vitality supplements. All right, when again, we need nutrients in our body for our cells to work properly. Okay, so that is a really powerhouse one. It's kind of interesting because I have found personally that when I stop, if I forget or I stop taking them, I notice more when after I've stopped than even when I'm on it. I don't even realize how beneficial they are to my body until after the fact, right? And then I'm like, oh, why am I struggling? Oh yeah, duh. It's because I'm being lazy with my vitamins, okay? So that's first and foremost. But there's some other oils that you have received in your kit that also might be really beneficial for this. And there's a lot more that we can talk about as well if this is a specific concern of yours. I know that for us, we're doing a thing about trauma this Thursday, because really we've got a lot of people that are dealing with a lot of serious things throughout, just not even just COVID, right? But a lot of really serious of all ages. And we need to learn how to cope and deal with that trauma in a healthy way. Otherwise, physically, it can really take its toll on your body. Okay, we don't want that to happen, right? So frankincense is a wonderful balancer. I actually use frankincense this way. I take it and I drop a couple of drops just directly under my tongue. Okay, like that. If you're brave and you want to try it, go for it. Okay, I can't tell you it tastes good, but you know what, over all these years I get used to it and it doesn't even bother me anymore. Now, if that's just a little bit too potent for you, okay, make sure that you can put some in a capsule, or you can rub it on the back of your neck, or you can rub it on your wrists or over your heart or on your feet. Just make sure that you get some kind of frankincense in or on your body daily. Okay, that's coming straight from Dr. Hill, but I also have learned over the years that that is a very powerful help to support both emotionally and physically. Now, Balance essential oil. Both Balance and lavender, any of these essential oils, you can see that some of them are like, Balance is a wonderful blend that we have. Lavender, some people might really love lavender. I got to be honest with you. At first, I've just never really been a big fan of lavender. That's not a problem. That's not a big deal. If you're not a fan, that's okay. All right, there's multiple other oils that you can use, or use it in combination with several essential oils as well. But both Balance, because of the oils that are in that, are incredibly helpful at balancing those emotions. I have witnessed people who, and maybe some of you have had these experiences as well. I'd love for you to share in the comments or a little bit later when we open it up for question and answers, or just, for us to chat. Maybe you've had an experience where I've seen someone who was literally in like shock. She'd actually been injured in an accident, and we grabbed the Balance, and we literally she was uncontrollable, and I took the Balance and I swiped it under her nose. That's all I did. Okay, I couldn't we were trying to help her with the situation. Swiped it under her nose. She was crying uncontrollably, like totally hysterical, and literally within 60 seconds she was calm. It was unbelievable. I've never seen that kind of transformation in my life, but it was powerful. And Balance is also an essential oil that you can apply anywhere. You can apply it to the back of the neck, to a child, at any age, on the feet if they're concerned about the smell. But it really is helpful at balancing the body and the emotions and helping kind of create a little bit of homeostasis in a very short period of time for the body, okay? Now, lavender, you know that even the smell of lavender can help reduce cortisol levels in the body. So, for example, if you had circled the weight management and exercise as an area of focus that you wanted, you know, some of your health goals, if you have elevated levels of cortisol, which happen when you're under stress, did you know that your body will not burn fat? It can't. It won't. Okay, so if you're struggling with that, or if that's an area of focus, or if you just need to reduce cortisol in your body because it's out of control with all that's going on, consider using some lavender aromatically in your diffuser. Okay, even using balance or lavender and frankincense together in your diffuser. Diffusing is a fantastic way to affect the body emotionally, right? Because then we're smelling. Maybe put what some of your favorite blends are, or maybe what you're diffusing in your home right now, okay? Share that in the chat. Another way that you can use this is actually applying it directly to your adrenal glands, okay? This is really helpful. Adrenals are kind of that gland responsible for producing cortisol, but they get overworked. And a lot of people are actually dealing with adrenal fatigue. That's a whole nother class, but applying lavender directly to the adrenal glands, and if you're not sure where those are, somebody helped me learn this one time. They said if you take your arm and you just put it right behind your back, I know it's gonna sound really kind of weird right now, but she says put it directly behind your back, and you can't really see, like that, and she says wherever you're, like at a 90-degree angle, and wherever your hand lands, that's usually where your adrenal glands are, okay? Just a little golden nugget of information there, okay? Now, of course, we do have some other oils. We have an incredible emotions kit with beautiful essential oils for emotions. We have our Serenity essential oil. We even have soft gels, right? We have Serenity soft gels, Adaptive. How many of you have been living on Adaptive over the last couple of months? Those of you that have it. Me, I've had a couple of 3 Adaptive days and 2 Serenity days. Okay, like it's been crazy sauce in the last couple of months, especially here. And I know for me, those products have literally made it so that I could not only emotionally cope, but physically cope as well. Because when our emotions are out of control, it takes a toll on us physically. It either shuts us down, or it makes us exhausted, or we go so fast that we crash, right? We have all of these different physical things that happen when our emotions are out of control. So Serenity, Adaptive, if you have not had a chance to learn about Adaptive, okay, I just got to put a plug for this, because honestly, I don't think anybody on the planet should go without Adaptive right now. If you have not had a chance, and if this didn't come with your initial kit, please put it on your wish list, okay? It is powerful. It actually supports the body in ways that you never even see coming. And the thing I like about it is it doesn't render you, you know how a lot of medications and things like that, they kind of numb you, right? And they make it so that you don't feel anything. There's emotion less. And that's not good either, right? We need to be able to have emotions, but we need to know how to cope with them in a healthy way, right? And what I love about both Serenity and Adaptive is not like they knock you out or make it so that you are gummy or you can't function or you can't drive or something like that. They just help your body cope physically and emotionally with what the circumstances are that you're dealing with at that time, okay? So if you haven't had a chance, definitely put that on your wish list, because right now I don't think there's anybody on this planet that should be without those. Genevieve, are there any questions that I need to answer along those lines that anybody has?
There aren't any questions right now, but there are some amazing testimonials in here. So thank you everyone for being so active on the chat. These are amazing.
Love it.
At the end, maybe we can read through some of these and just share
that would be
everyone.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. I love it. Thank you guys. You know, honestly, that's the powerful thing with these classes is your testimony. And we have a lot of new people, but we also have several of you they're avid users, and your experiences are invaluable contributions. So thank you so much, you guys, for sharing that information. Okay. All right. So let's talk a little bit about reducing toxic load, right? You know, we all are exposed to different kinds of toxins every day, whether it's the air that we breathe, or now we're dealing with breathing our own toxins, right? How many of you have, if you have to go out and you need to wear a mask, how many of you have put a little essential oil inside the mask, right? That is something that I am doing all the time. I've actually, I put them under my nose anyway, but that's really helpful so that you're breathing in something better, okay? A little bit of Breathe or On Guard, or maybe it's an emotion oil like Adaptive to just help you not have such anxiety as you're going different places, okay? There's just so much fear right now. So this is another thing, reducing our toxic load is really important to supporting our overall health. And I love that doTERRA has provided us with products that allow us to do that. I know that for me in my home, I consider it grocery shopping when I shop at doTERRA now, okay? Because I have replaced, I've kind of done this good, better, best, right? I've been able to switch out those things that I was previously using years and years ago, and I've been able to switch them out for these pure essential oils and the natural products that doTERRA has provided us that are really, they rank when everybody goes on and they can rank different products for their toxic level or whatever, okay? doTERRA's always rank really, really good, okay? And I don't remember the numbers off the top of my head. I just remember people going, isn't it crazy that like the On Guard concentrate, for example, you could literally lick that and it wouldn't hurt you. You wouldn't have to worry about your kids getting into your cleaning supplies and being poisoned or having some kind of a really serious issue that way. How powerful is that? Okay, so being able to switch these toxic things in our lives, I found out that a lot of the things I was using, especially when I first got started, my dryer sheets or my laundry soap, all of those things were part of the reason my son was having such respiratory issues, okay? So I was able to switch out all of those things to things that were more natural, whether it was dryer balls that I love peppermint and lavender on my dryer balls. Okay, that's what I use to dry my fabric or my clothes. I clean with On Guard concentrate literally all over my house, and I love, we have done lots of fun make and take or make your own cleaning supplies using essential oils and natural products and vinegar and other things. But I've been able to switch those things out of my home. And not only that, my kids love them. Okay, so their exposure has been significantly reduced compared to what even my exposure was for my first, 50 years. And I love that because that gives them a better chance at surviving this thing we call life, right? The On Guard toothpaste, which one is your favorite? Which one of these reducing toxic load? Type in the chat. I want to know which one of these are your favorite. Maybe it's the On Guard toothpaste or the On Guard mouthwash. Oh, you guys, unbelievable. My son used to get canker sores quite often in his mouth. On Guard mouthwash, like he just doesn't have canker sores anymore. It's amazing, okay? So there's a lot of ways that we can kind of switch out those things that we would maybe buy at the grocery store or Walgreens or whatever. Buy them from yourself, okay? Because as you're gonna learn here soon, there's ways that you can get rewarded for buying from yourself through doTERRA, okay? And to be able to switch those products out, your spa products, your skin. I turned 50 this year and I'm so excited about that because I feel like I don't look like it. At least I hope I don't look like it. Okay, but I have been using, this is the longest ever in my whole entire life that I have used a skincare line, and I'm picky about my skincare, okay? I want to look good. If it didn't work, I would quit using it, okay? But I haven't needed to. I absolutely love their skincare line and their spa products. And I also love the fact that I can use them and not be worried about how many toxins, that women, especially, guys that are on here, you guys are only exposed to maybe 200 or so chemicals a day, okay? Women, we are exposed anywhere from 400 to 800 different toxic chemicals every day because of the products that we use on our hair and our skin and the lotions and all these different things. We've got to reduce our toxic load, okay? And of course, you can do that by diffusing even in your space where you live. Help reduce the amount of toxins that you might be breathing into the air, okay? So hopefully that gives you a few ideas. There's of course more, but and of course I'm sure you guys are sharing them, which I love. So if you have something in particular that you've used to help reduce your toxic load or things that you've been able to switch out for, please include that in the chat because that's really powerful for people to learn, okay? So of course, some of the other tips that we want to share with you are, number one, have some fun, okay? With all of the oils that you've gotten, there is something that you can do with every single one of them. So I'm going to challenge you, especially if you're new, okay? Whatever oils you purchased with your kit, please try something every single day, something different, okay? Whatever the oil is, look it up in the book, okay? Or look it up online on doTERRA. There's lots of recommendations even on doTERRA through their education sites, or talk to the person that enrolled you. Say, okay, what do I do with this particular oil again? All right, but I'm going to challenge you that every single day for the next week, you're going to try something different, okay? Using one of the essential oils that you've purchased. Because I promise you, even like, I love these combinations. It talks about peppermint and wild orange. You know that my favorite combo is actually peppermint and frankincense. I actually did that right before I even got on here. I put a drop of peppermint and a drop of frankincense in the palm of my hand, okay? And then I rub it together like this, and then I smell through my nose, okay? If you have your oils in front of you right now, or if you have Breathe or lavender, any of those oils, okay? Do it right now. Grab your oil and just smell it through your nose, okay? Okay, you want to do that several times. You can even do it through your mouth if you're feeling like you need to open up your airways a little bit. It's amazing how quickly it absolutely triggers these chemical responses in your brain. I do that for clarity. It helps me think more clearly. It makes me feel invigorated and refreshed and like I can go out and get something done, right? So that's actually something that I do almost every morning or before I give presentations or anything, because those are two powerhouse oils. Now, if you like peppermint and wild orange together, awesome, that's great. Or maybe at night, you're looking for a good diffuser blend. Lavender and Breathe are powerful. Breathe is something, just a tip about Breathe. Of course, it's wonderful for respiratory support. Now, with my son, he would do that same thing like what I just did with the frankincense and peppermint, only he would breathe it through his mouth. He would cup his hands like this, and then he would suck like that. And it will kind of make me cough because I've been talking so much. But what it would do is it would instantly open up his lungs and open up his airway. If you haven't ever tried that with Breathe, try it right now, because you'll be absolutely blown away, okay, with how that works. Okay, let's see. Oh, diffuser. Okay, this is the other thing I want you to do. If you didn't get a diffuser with your kit, put that on your wish list, okay? There isn't a day that goes by that I'm not trying some new combination in my diffuser. And I found that it's been really beneficial, especially where everybody is at home a lot more, okay? That you're able to utilize these essential oils. And let's say, for instance, you have a husband or a family member that maybe is a little bit not so sure about these smelly, stinky, whatever that you just got, right? Voodoo oils. But you can diffuse some citrus or some lemon or something like that. And they're going to walk in the door and they're, ooh, it smells so good in here. What are you cooking? Or what's that? You know, it's a wonderful way to change the mood in your home or to protect your family's immune system and support the immune system. So make sure that if you don't have one yet, that you put that on your wish list, okay? But also, try some new combinations this week if you do have a diffuser, okay? Give some things a try this week, because you know what? You can't really go wrong. I will say, let's see what the next tip is. Oh, okay, start using 1 to 2 drops of citrus in your water, whether it's lemon, wild orange, tangerine, lime, any of those citrus oils, or if you have Slim and Sassy, give it a try. It took me a little while to get used to Slim and Sassy, but I can tell you that it literally changed my desire for sugar, okay, which was awesome, okay? But just even putting 1 or 2 drops in your water every morning. I have a glass that you usually want to use glass or stainless steel. Don't use plastic, okay? The citrus oils break down plastics, and we certainly don't want any more toxins in our body than are necessary, right? Especially not petrochemicals. So invest in a glass or a stainless steel water bottle. But every single morning, I start my day with a drop of peppermint and 2 drops of lemon. 2 things that does for me. First of all, it wakes up to my digestive system, okay, which is really important, getting going in the morning. But it also is very helpful at supporting my digestive system for the day and getting it started and going the right direction. So again, super easy to do, but give it a try. Start with 1 or 2 drops, and then if you want to increase it from there, you can, okay? Let's talk about dilution really quickly, because as we talk about using essential oils, you're going to hear lots of ways that, we've talked about ways you can use them topically. I'm always making little roller bottles. We'll talk about where you can find some of these. But I'm always mixing or doing some things. Why would you want to dilute these essential oils? Well, not because it's dangerous to, and that's why you have to dilute them, but mostly I dilute because age, right? You can see here this graph, take a picture of it if you need to, but there's some good recommendations, right? On if it's an infant, we just don't need as much because these are super potent, right, guys? They're very, very powerful. A little goes a long, long way. Matter of fact, the motto is less oil, more often, okay? But when we dilute them, when we use fractionated coconut oil, okay, to help apply that oil topically or something like that, what it does is it, number one, prevents flash off, okay? These are aromatic compounds. They will evaporate. So you want to make sure that you're actually getting the oil into where you want it to go, right? So using a carrier oil or an unscented lotion like that really is helpful that way. It also helps you spread it to a larger area, okay? So for example, if my back is hurting, I want some deep blue, or maybe I don't have deep blue rub, but I'm going to put some copaiba in deep blue. I'm going to use a little bit of fractionated coconut oil and then 2 or 3 drops of each of those essential oils. And then I'm going to be able to spread it around my entire back. It's not going to lessen the effect of it. It's not going to lessen the impact that it's going to have, but it allows me to spread that essential oil to a larger area and not have to use as much of these precious essential oils, right? Because they're still very, very potent and very powerful. You'll notice that even doTERRA has, and this is the adaptive. I don't have a touch one with me right now, but you'll notice maybe even the kids line, okay? How many of you have kids and you've seen this amazing kids line? Many of these, or the oils that are labeled as doTERRA Touch, like frankincense touch or lavender touch, those are already pre-diluted for us with fractionated coconut oil. So that they're safe to use really for any age. You can apply them on the feet or on the spine or wherever you would like, but it allows you to not have to worry about doing your own dilutions, okay? And they do that just for ease of use, not because it dilutes it so that it doesn't work better. It just dilutes it down to make sure that it ease of application, okay? Of course, we never want to get essential oils in our eyes. I made the mistake one time of mistaking peppermint for my contact drops one day, and it was powerful experience, but it didn't do any damage. I'm still here. But you definitely, if by chance you were to get an essential oil where you don't want it to be, okay, like peppermint, deep blue, oregano, something like that, that's another reason why we use a fractionated coconut oil or any other kind of vegetable oil. Just don't use water, okay? Because when you use water, what happens with that is it actually intensifies the feeling of that essential oil. So use some kind of a vegetable or nut-based oil and put it on that area, and it will calm it down really quickly, okay? And you might have to apply it a couple of times. Trust me, I've had oregano on my face, peppermint in my eye. It happens. Or you'll inevitably will tell somebody after you've rubbed deep blue on them, don't touch your eye, and then you go like this and instantly you've touched your face or your eye, okay? It's a powerful experience, but I promise it won't hurt you, okay? All right, so your supplements are, and I'm just going to touch on this really quickly too. Your supplements really are part of your daily nutrition, okay? But I want to just give you a couple of key things. If you did get Lifelong Vitality, some of the things that I found that are really helpful to get started with that are to start slowly, okay? If you're not used to taking supplements, many people, depending on their level of health, we'll have some like experiences with that, right? So what I always recommend to my friends is either start with one morning and night of one of them, and then the next day start with one of two of them, and one of, you know, three. Just kind of build your way up to where you are able to finally take the full dose twice a day. Okay. What we do is as you see in this little thing, right, we take 2 of each capsule. There's 3 different capsules: Microplex VMZ, Alpha CRS, and the Z Omega. But what you want to do with that is take at least some in the morning, and then I like to take it with breakfast and with my evening meal. I don't like to take it right before bed, just because I like my body to be able to digest it. But one thing you can take before bed is Terrazyme. Okay, that's one that you can take with meals, or you can take it before you go to bed at night, or even on an empty stomach. That's one that you can take empty stomach or with food, either one. But just start slowly and then make it a lifestyle. Like I said, I have these little rituals that I have, my little cups and other things that have made it really kind of fun. And you get into a routine. Once you do that, it makes it so easy. I don't even have to think about it anymore. At first, it might be a little overwhelming, but I promise you, really quickly, it will become such a habit that you're like, oh my gosh, I can't go a day without these, right? And then keep at it. I know that Dr. Hill mentioned, and this was really powerful for me to learn. He said that it takes at least 3 months or longer for some for your body to fully absorb on a cellular level the nutrients that you're taking, okay? Because our cells are constantly changing, right? Every day we get new cells, old cells die off, so on. They can take up to 3 months. For me, with my situation, it was about a month and a half before I noticed an incredible change. Like, it was a night and day difference in my pain and inflammation. But I had to keep at it and be really consistent, so that way you can experience, you know, the maximum benefits. Okay. All right. So let's move on. Oh, there we go. Okay. So many of you maybe have heard about different ways that you can purchase doTERRA, right? Now that you have your kits. Oh, I see that Alicia is really trying to get into this, and for some reason it keeps kicking her out. I'm so sorry, Alicia. Okay, but there are some ways that you know, now that we've talked about quite a few oils, but you might have a wish list, okay? We want you to be able to get those things, and the way that we do that is through our loyalty rewards program. Now, you can also purchase things at just a standard order as well. But you can see, and I'm gonna kind of go, we've talked about, you know, this is a sample wellness box, for example, okay? What we can do on this, I'm gonna move my face over a little bit because I can't see. But you can see that we have price, but we also have PV. The PV stands for point value. And we have an international company, right? So they have to have something that is fairly consistent, because the monetary system in each country is going to be significantly different. So we have point value, and you always want to check the point value when you're ordering, because many times they'll have specials in a month, or a free oil of the month, or free extra product credits, or whatever it might be. And you want to make sure that you're, you know, meeting those requirements if you want to participate in those freebies. But you always want to check the PV amount of your order, okay? So for example, when I go to redeem, or, you know, my points that I might have earned, and we'll talk about that in a minute, a lot of times the point value is also dollar for dollar with each of the oils, okay, which that'll come in handy to know later. All right, so LRP, or loyalty rewards, yeah, placing a loyalty rewards order is kind of what that is. Loyalty rewards, how come I can't think of what the P is? Somebody type that in the comments. All of a sudden I cannot think of what that is, because my brain is a little bit fried, okay? So let's talk about, let's see. Now this goes into building, and we're not gonna talk about that tonight. But what I do want to do, so I'm gonna actually stop sharing my screen here really quickly, because I want to look at your comments and also open it up for some questions. Oh, so good to see so many wonderful people on here. I miss you all so much. But along with that, what I wanted to talk about was, let's see, let's switch this to, there we go. Okay. Trying to, do oils expire? I'm going to look at some of these questions really quickly and make sure that I've covered a lot of your initial use, okay? I wanted to give an overview, and for some reason that PowerPoint, and we'll have to look at that, Genevieve, because that PowerPoint that we used tonight doesn't have the talking about the point system and how they can earn free product. So if you're brand new, there's something that we definitely don't want you to leave without knowing, and that is when you order each month, okay, there's an opportunity for you to actually earn free product back. Okay, and it's kind of doTERRA is so generous. You know, I think about the generosity of this company, how many free oils. Last year alone, we figured it up. And last year alone, I think we were able to get over 400 and some odd, like $450 something worth of free oils last year. I mean, I don't know very many other reward systems out there that really truly reward you, okay, except maybe your Cafe Rio points or something like that my daughter loves to collect. But if we're not using our essential oils, and if we're not, you know, sometimes you'll maybe use one so much that you're like, oh, I need to restock this. That's why we have the, you know, program to be able to reorder. And you can order, like I said, a standard order. And that's great. Like there's no requirement. You all know that, okay? There's no requirement for ordering with doTERRA on a monthly basis, but you're going to run out, okay? Especially if you're opening those bottles and you're using them, you're going to run out of essential oils and you're going to want to reorder. The smartest way to do that is through the loyalty rewards program, because every time you order, you get points back. You get rewards points back, okay? There was one year I had so many points I was able to send my daughter to college with a whole entire kit that I was able to put together for her. It was like $400 worth of oils, and it only cost me $12. And that was just for the redemption fee and the tax and the shipping, okay? Because I was able to redeem those points. So super awesome to have that opportunity. And I'm sorry I don't have that slide to show you, but make sure that you get together with the person that enrolled you and have them show you how to log on to your doTERRA.com site with your member number and your password, and how to place a standard order or how to set up your loyalty rewards. Because I love the fact that we have the ability to be very flexible with loyalty rewards. I can change the date, I can change the products, I can change, you know, if I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm leaving out of town and I need this right now, but my order maybe isn't supposed to run for another couple of weeks, I can totally change my order and have it run today so I get it in time. So there's so much flexibility with that, and you want to make sure that you know all of those perks with your membership, okay? Because there are so many of them, and I don't want you to miss out on that.
And Brooke, sorry to interrupt you quickly.
Go ahead.
What we can do is, because we didn't have that slide, I will actually find out a nice handout that we can email to everyone who's attended tonight so that you guys have all the information you need.
Oh, thank you so much, Genevieve. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And a couple of other things, then we're going to open it up for some questions, okay? First of all, we've covered a few of the real basic essential oils, okay? And you might have a lot of other oils that you got in your kit that we didn't cover tonight. Please know that there are lots of information out there. We have wonderful Facebook groups. We have wonderful people that you can ask those questions about. And of course, our resource books and things. Just know this, that you have somebody here. There will always be someone that you can ask questions, okay? So don't be afraid to ask and continue learning, okay? Because the worst thing, and the thing that we don't want to have happen, is that these oils sit on the shelf, okay? They're so powerful every single day. You know, I consider it's like when you're on the airplane and they say, you know, the little thing that says, put on your oxygen mask and then help the person next to you. I consider my Lifelong Vitality supplements and my oils to be my oxygen mask every day, okay? That helps me be a better mom and a better person and have more energy and to do all those things that I want to do. So if you haven't had a chance to have a lifestyle overview with somebody and you want to schedule one with Chelsea or someone, you can see that Genevieve just posted a Calendly link that you can schedule a lifestyle overview with her, okay, to really dive in deep to what you specifically need, okay? And it really is powerful because you guys, this really is a lifestyle, okay? And if you're committed, you've made this investment, and that means you're committed to your health and to improving your health. And we are here to help ensure that that's exactly what happens. And so along with that, before I forget, okay, I'm sure Genevieve will keep me on track, but there's a code word that you're going to want to input when you fill out your questionnaire, okay? Because after you're done with this class, yay, you guys survived me for an hour. I'm so grateful that you were here with me. But there's a class questionnaire that you want to fill out, and she's posted the link here in the comments. So make sure you click on it or copy it or something like that, because that's the link that you're going to want to just fill out this super quick. It's going to take you less than a minute questionnaire. And the code word that you're going to want to input is lifelong vitality. Okay, so write that down. That's your code word. That means that we know that you attended this class. Each class is going to have a different code word, so you're not going to want to miss that, right? You've attended it. You're on your way to completing your 8 continuing education classes so you can get your free gift. All right, we're just so grateful that you've joined, that you've trusted us enough to share doTERRA with you, and that you've trusted us to purchase these products that I know will change your life. You can see just from the comments alone how these truly are life-changing products. And it might be that you are so excited to just get started putting on your own oxygen mask. But it also might be that you're like, you know what, I've thought of this person, all need these as well. And if that's the case, and if you're interested in sharing, just simply sharing with them, let us know. Let us know how we can help you. Invite them to join you in this. It might also be that you're looking for something that can help you financially. I know a lot of people that are struggling with that because of what's going on in the world today. They've lost jobs, or their income has been significantly reduced, or they have to stay home and they need and are looking for an additional resource. What better resource to help with the finances of your home than helping other people, right? With their health and wellness. I know for me, the last 2 months, it's created an opportunity for me, since I am now newly single, and now the sole person responsible for the care of myself financially and my children financially. doTERRA has provided a way for me to be able to do that and feel safe and secure in being able to take that on. And I'm so incredibly grateful for that. All of the hard work that I've put in over the last 11 years has absolutely protected me and my children in ways that I would have never even imagined. So it's been hard work, but it's been worth it. And I'm so grateful for that security that I have to fall back on with my business in doTERRA. So there's lots of options for everyone, and I'm really grateful and excited that you have joined us with that. So with that being said, what questions do we have that we can ask or answer?
Brooke, I know that there's some questions about adaptive. If you can kind of just elaborate a little bit more on adaptive, that would be great to start off with.
Awesome. Okay, and I also see Karen asked a question about On Guard and COVID-19. So I'm going to address that one first really quickly, because she asked if there's been research. And I'll be honest with you, Karen, we don't know. I'm pretty sure that there has been. If nothing else, there's been research done by many individuals who have maybe experienced that situation. What I do know is this, okay? They sold out of 6-month supply of On Guard in less than 3 weeks in China when this first hit. And it's continued that pace as things have continued to progress. So no, there isn't any specific research, and more than likely for the protection of our company and the protection of our products, that's probably why they are going to actually release a specific study. because as you know, they're not interested in natural solutions. Okay. And so I can tell you that it is extremely helpful and beneficial. And it would definitely be something that for me, I would be using in my home if I had contracted something like that. I would also be using DDR Prime, which is another essential oil blend that is incredibly powerful. Okay, so definitely something that you want to have stock on hand. And that's, that's another thing. I know that for many of us that have been doing this for maybe a little bit longer than just the last month or so, we all very abruptly realized whether or not we had enough stock on hand, right? When On Guard was no longer available for several weeks. That was extremely painful for many of us, right? When we realized, oh, shoot, do I have enough? And this kind of goes along with the expiration question. Somebody had asked if these expire, and really they don't expire. Okay, some of them actually improve with age. The only oils that might kind of begin to break down the constituencies after 5 years are citrus oils. Okay, you just want to keep them in a space that is cool. Don't expose them to high temperatures, heat, that kind of a thing. Okay, you want to take good care of them, but like don't leave them in a hot car in the summertime, right? No bueno. But these essential oils are very powerful, and so I consider them to be kind of my emergency supply as well. Many times I will use my loyalty rewards points to stock up on certain oils. I liked personally, I've been doing this for 11 years, so I've been able to stock up on a few, but I like to make sure I have at least 3 of every single essential oil. And I use my points to do that. Okay, because I first of all, I can't afford to always just be buying 3 helichrysums or 3 melissas or something like that, right? Those are really expensive. But I can use my rewards points, and I'm able to stock up and have at least 3 of every essential oil on hand. And because there's always a reason that I would need to use them. And because these are naturally occurring substances, they come from nature. We kind of are at the mercy of natural disasters, or government shutdowns or business shutdowns or other things like that, right? So we kind of want to make sure that we have a few on hand in case of emergencies. So to the adaptive, what is adaptive good for? Everything. I would consider adaptive as your number one go-to for all things emotional: anxiety, depression, hypertension, ADHD, ADD, anything to do with focus, neurological, the ability to remain calm and clear and be able to just breathe. And what I love about it, and there is a wonderful Facebook group if you want to really truly dive in to what adaptive can do. I believe, I can't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure that it is, dang, I wish I could remember the exact name. I should have looked it up. Just type in adaptive without the E. Okay, it might even be under doTERRA adaptive uses or something like that. It's a Facebook group, and it has tons of testimonials, tons of Q&A. One thing you got to know about all of these things, okay, it's going to be different for everybody. What works for one person does not necessarily mean that it works for everyone. But what I have learned with adaptive is that it works about 95-98% of the time. My daughter, myself, as I've been going through a lot of chaos in the last couple of months, it's not that I have anxiety, but my daughter does, and she's got a lot of anxious feelings, and this has literally changed her life. This has made it so she can function throughout the day, and she's a very high functioning anxiety driven person, right? But this makes it so she can actually function in a higher level and stay calm and not be physically sick even sometimes because of the stress that she was under. And it's been absolutely vital for her as she's been navigating a lot of the changes that are happening in her life right now. So she takes one every morning. I know some people that take 3 a day, morning, noon, and night, depending on their level of anxious feelings or depression or other things that they might be going through, or stress. I know some people that use it at night to help them sleep. The nice thing about it is it's something that you can use that you're not going to have to worry about, number one, becoming addicted to, or number two, having, negative side effects or something that is going to cause issues. Okay, so I hope that answers a few of your questions. It looks like we've got quite a few messages, so let me see if I'm missing anything here. What about time instead of DDR prime? Okay, yeah, time is great. Time is in DDR prime, right, Rochelle? So you can actually use just plain time. The thing that I love about DDR prime, though, is it also has several other oils like clove, which is one of the highest antioxidant oils out there, right? It has lemongrass, which is super powerful. And so as a combination, as a blend, it really has some amazing benefits to supporting both the immune system and our bodies on a cellular level. Amazing for plants too. Just FYI, stick a drop in your water when you're watering your plants. Unbelievable results. But thyme is an incredible, there's several oils that are really good as supporting the immune system. Thyme is especially good for respiratory challenges, and so is cinnamon. So that's why using both DDR prime and On Guard would definitely be helpful. Okay, adaptive for all the changes. Yeah, you guys, there's every single one of us have experienced some sort of either minor to super significant changes, right? When all of this, when the year began, I had absolutely no idea. I think we all were like, 2020 is gonna be the best year ever, woo, 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 right? Yeah, it's been, I never would have imagined that not even halfway through the year, we would have been quarantined, my kids would have had to move, college would have quit, and I would be divorced. Yep, no clue. So lots can happen in a very short period of time, right? But with all of that change, we have to have support. We have to have something that will help our bodies cope with all of that trauma and that change, and especially kids. I can't tell you how many messages I've gotten over the last, just the last 2 weeks, of people that are like, my kids are acting out in ways that they've never acted out before. They are not able to cope with all of these significant changes, and their lives have been completely, it's like fruit basket tip over. Nothing is the same as it used to be, right? Their routines have been disrupted. Their school has been disrupted. Their social lives have been disrupted. Their daily activities have been disrupted. Maybe their diet has had to change. Like, all of these things cause physical changes as well as emotion changes. And so even for small kids, maybe they can't take the capsules, right? But you can roll some adaptive on up their spine every morning, or on their feet every 4 hours, to just, again, help balance or diffuse. Okay, and that's what I love about adaptive. They have both the roller bottle, and that is already pre-diluted. Okay, so you can rub it anywhere topically. But they also have just the oil blend, and I think I have that actually out in my kitchen next to my diffuser, because I've been diffusing that a lot. And just diffusing adaptive in your home. Start that first thing in the morning. Put 5 or 6 drops of adaptive in there and just see what happens. Okay, amazing things can happen that way. All right, doctors are in love. Absolutely, doctors are in love with adaptive. Thyroid, awesome. Oh, at night, that's a great, yeah, it's a wonderful one. Even combining adaptive and serenity together, you can totally, use combinations if you feel like you need to as well. Okay, that's awesome. All right, any other questions that you guys have? Feel free to unmute yourselves and say hi, or any other questions that you have.
Brooke, it's Rochelle.
Yeah.
I do have a couple questions for you. I'm going to walk over to my oils really quick. Is that okay?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, so I'll just let you guys know what Brooke already knows. I got COVID, and she's been helping me after COVID. So I have a couple more questions on a couple of oils I found. And one was thyme. The other is I wanted to tell you how much myrrh helped me when I couldn't breathe.
Yeah, myrrh's a powerful essential oil for respiratory problems.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. The other one I have a question about is basil and listia.
Litsia, yeah.
How do you say it?
I say it Litsia.
Litsia. Okay, I'm gonna mute myself again. Okay.
No, so are you wondering about ways that you can use that oil,
Yes,
or
ma'am.
if it's good for? Oh, okay. Two of my favorites. I'm actually really glad that you asked it. You know, it's funny because you know, we have some very specific basic oils, right? Many of you have, you know, your basic kit, right? And those are two that are not on there. And actually, we can't get Litsia right now. So you were lucky that you got that one. That was a special oil of the month. Again, another reason why we love our Loyalty Rewards program, right? Because Litsia is actually a powerful antimicrobial oil. It is very similar to lemongrass and can be used in very similar ways to lemongrass. I actually just recently used it. I had a friend of mine who was dealing with some shingles, and they started using the Litsia to support their body in that way. So I'm just going to give you a couple of other thoughts on that one.
You know what? I wanted to let you know I got hives just recently because of the end of COVID, right? And I used say it again for me, pronounce it again. Litsia. And it worked. But I didn't know if there was something else that I could be using. For instance, I'm out of frankincense right now, but I have DDR prime, thyme, and Litsia.
Right. So Litsia is a powerful support for the immune system, specifically for lungs, asthma, spastic coughs, bronchitis. So it's actually one that you could inhale along with the myrrh if you're still dealing with like an unresolved cough. It's really good for that. Steam cup, right? Put a couple of drops of the Litsia in that. It's also one that, again, can be used very similarly to how you would use lemongrass for pain relief or for muscular aches and pains.
So like the leg cramps that I got.
Yeah, you could actually, now Litsia, the thing that you got to be careful with Litsia is that it's a hot oil. So it's kind of a little bit like oregano or lemongrass in the fact that when you use it topically, it will actually cause a little sensitivity if you don't dilute it. So you want to make sure that if you're using it topically that you dilute it, okay? But hopefully that gives you a couple of ideas. I know I unfortunately have a lot of my resources packed right now because I'm going to be moving in a month. And so I don't have my notes on Litsia right now, but that hopefully will give you a couple of ideas. I've used it specifically for even skin eruptions like acne or eczema, things like that. And it's really helpful. Just dilute it with fractionated coconut oil. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Oh, and basil.
Oh,
Basil.
right.
Okay, unsung hero. Basil is amazing for UTIs, you guys. Okay, or even like ovarian cysts, things like that. Great for ear infections. Powerful, powerful, powerful. So there's a couple of those ones. Okay.
I just want to throw in something there.
Yeah.
Since I had some issues with my whole body basically shut down. You already know this.
I know, bless
but
you.
basil was one that helped my stomach.
Yeah. It's incredibly.
Surprise!
It's good for muscle, like you said, muscle cramps. Basil is amazing for muscle cramps.
Well, I didn't know if it was indigestion. Let me see.
It's not indigestion, but you could use it in the same way. It's really, I've used it for earaches, ear pain, muscle pain, muscle relaxing, blood sugar. It's really good to help normalize blood sugar. Like there's
and I can tell you, you know how I diffuse in every room, and typically just the more concentrated ones like Adaptive and the ones that we mentioned tonight, right by my face, obviously where I sit. But I have been diffusing basil, and it has given me a grounding presence besides balance, because I'm almost out of balance and I was trying to figure out a way to balance out. Okay, I'm waiting on balance to get here. Let's figure out another oil. So the last 4 days I've been doing basil, and it's calmed me down.
That's great. That's great. Basil, there is a lot of emotional support in basil. So that's wonderful. And you know, when you're talking about emotions, we've talked about a lot of different oils. Consol's been my go-to, that and adaptive. But never underestimate the power of your nose, especially if it's emotion based. Okay. When you go to an essential oil, there might have been an oil in the past that you're like, yeah, I just really didn't like the smell of that oil. Go give it a try now and see. And you will be so surprised at what you're drawn to, because your nose knows what you need emotionally.
Well, at the beginning of all of the 3 months, so March 3rd was when it all started, right? So after the initial run of it, I tried Motivate, because I thought everything was going to be good. And then I got a second round, right? So then I tried Motivate again, and I can take it now. Yeah. I mean, not internally, obviously. I can put it in the diffuser and I can handle it.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love what Monique says too, that basil's really good for feelings of overwhelmed, which I think all of us are there. So that's a really good one for that too.
Well, and I just want to put a small plug in before I go about Copaiba. Everyone should have it. It's wonderful. Yeah. Thank you so much for answering my questions.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. We have time. Anybody else have a question or a comment? I hope we've answered your questions, and please make sure you go in and fill out that little questionnaire, okay? And hopefully you guys will join. I don't know who's speaking next week, but I guarantee it's going to be awesome. And I can't remember, what's the topic next week, Genevieve, for our continuing education?
So it'll be Chelsea talking next week, presenting, and she's going to be presenting on nutrition and supplements.
Oh, that's awesome. I know how she has had so much experience with that and has really studied nutrition and just how to support your body in that way. So I hope you guys will all join and learn from her. It'll be so fun to hear from her. That'll be awesome. Okay. Well, thank you guys. Thank you for joining me tonight. I hope that this has been beneficial, and that I'm just excited for everybody that's new to start on their journey. As you can see, and you've learned and heard from other people tonight, there's a lot of incredible benefits to using these essential oils in your home. And we're just so grateful that you have joined us. So can't wait to hear about your experiences next week. Okay. Love you all and have a wonderful night. Okay. We'll see you later. Good night, everybody.